Hello everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am going to be doing my May wrap up. I read 7 books this month. 2 of them were on my Kindle. I downloaded a Kindle app on my phone. It's the first time ever that I've read books on through an app, a Kindle app, or electronically in general. So that's kind of cool. I feel like reading books on that app on my phone, the Kindle app, made it go by a lot quicker for some reason. Maybe it's just because you scroll through one page at a time. I don't know. It seemed like I was reading them quicker on my Kindle, but then again, they weren't that long of books. They were 200 something pages, maybe almost 300. So yeah. So it was a pretty good reading month for me. I don't think I read any book less than a 3-star. Yeah, I didn't. So that's good. Let's see. I'll start with my favorite book of the month. This one I gave 5 stars. Runaway by Harlan Coben. I'm sure many of you have seen this book around. This is my first book ever by this author and I really liked it. I don't know how this author came up with this story. I mean, it's written so well. You can tell he's been writing books for a long time. He's got so many books out. This is basically like a maybe mystery suspense with a little bit of family drama. This was so good. I highly recommend this to anybody who likes those types of books. But basically this is about a family whose daughter is addicted to drugs and she runs away from home, and the family will do anything, literally everything, to try and get her to come back home. But she's just too strung out on drugs and hanging out with a bad crowd, and she doesn't want to come back home. So the family goes through everything, anything you can think of, this family has gone through to try to get their daughter back. And just for me saying that does not give this book enough justice. Trust me, if you like Harlan Coben, or even if you've never read him before, read this book. I'm telling you, seriously. I think I got this one from Book Depository or Abe Books. I can't remember, but the US edition of this book, I don't like it, so I got this one, and it's got the red sprayed edges, which I love. So yeah, this was definitely a good book. 5 stars for sure. Okay, the next book I read is Monster in His Eyes by J.M. Darhower, and I also read Torture to Her Soul. So this is book 1, this is book 2, and I just bought book 3. That should be coming soon, which I plan to read this month. So, fun fact. I found out that I really like romantic suspense books. I never really gave romance a chance. I always just kind of stuck to thrillers, mystery horror. But for some reason I kind of strolled into the romance section of BookTube and I found a lot of really good book recommendations, so I decided to pick these up. They are definitely a darker romance. This isn't some light and fluffy, kind of romance. Sorry, there's people walking outside and I really hope she doesn't look up here because she'll definitely be able to see me. Oh my god, it's so awkward. Sorry. So yeah, Monster in His Eyes. So basically this is about a man that's a much older man and this daughter that's associated... Oh, wait, you know what? I don't want to spoil too much. If you do want to read this book, I would try to go in as blind as you can, but basically it's like a dark mafia romance type of book. Yeah, he meets this girl that's involved with people that this guy knows and is not fond of, but he ends up falling in love with this girl, and it's basically his story. This book is more from her perspective, and then Torture to Her Soul is more from his perspective. I don't know which book I liked better. I mean, this one was pretty good. I liked this one. I don't know. I liked them both. I gave them both 4 stars. But yeah, it's like a dark romance, mafia kind of book. There is murder, kind of crazy sex in this book, in both of these books, and I'm sure in the 3rd one too. So if you're not into that stuff, then maybe stay away from these, but I would suggest going into these pretty blind. That's what I did. All I knew about them is they were dark mafia romance books, and I'm like, okay, if it's dark, then I'll probably read it. And yeah, it wasn't as dark as I thought it was gonna be. It's not some like crazy erotic stuff. It's really not. It's got a lot more action than that, so that's probably why I liked it a lot. But yeah, it wasn't super dark, so if you're kind of wary about that but you like romance, I would give these a shot. They're not that dark, to me at least. But yeah, I gave these both 4 stars, and I'm going to read the 3rd one this month once it comes in the mail, and then I will officially have completed a trilogy. And I like how these look. The one thing I don't like about these though is like they get your fingerprints on the cover, like these matte black. So it looks like that. Ugh, I don't know. But yeah, those were good books. I gave them both 5 stars. Okay, now we're going to talk about, not 5 stars. I gave those both 4 stars. Alright, now we're going to talk about The Night Before by Wendy Walker, okay? First of all, let me say that I really like this cover. I don't know why, I just do. You know what? This book was disappointing to me. I was expecting a lot more from this book. I was expecting something more than it was. It's honestly forgettable. I can't even really remember what the twist was or like what this book was about specifically. But from what I do remember, I gave this book 3 stars. So it's basically got an unreliable narrator, and she is a little bit promiscuous. She likes to do her own thing. She doesn't really have high morals, I guess, so she hangs out with men, and she goes on this, not men, but she goes on a lot of dates. She's like promiscuous. So she goes on this one date with a guy and then doesn't return. So her sister gets really worried about her because her sister and her live together with her sister's husband. So she doesn't return from that date, and her sister's obviously really worried. And I don't really want to say anything more because it's a thriller and you should go in this blind. But yeah, it was just kind of disappointing to me. It just wasn't, I don't know, I found myself losing interest a lot. The writing wasn't anything special to me. It's not something that I haven't read before in thrillers. So yeah, it was just okay. I gave it a 3 star. I was expecting a lot more from it. But yeah, I like the cover though. That's kind of cool. So yeah, if you've read this book, let me know if you liked it. That was my first book that I've read by Wendy Walker, so yeah, it was okay, but I would definitely read more books from her. I mean, it wasn't horrible. Okay, this is another 5-star read for me. This is called The Five by Lily White. Again, another romantic suspense. This one is pretty dark. This is my first time ever reading anything from this author. So basically this book is about, this one's about a girl that doesn't live in the best neighborhood. She lives with her mom, and one day she sees this guy across the street, and he starts talking to her, and they kind of form a bond, and then she starts getting really close with this whole family that lives across the street, and there's, I think, three or four brothers, and they all live with their dad. So she gets close with them. She kind of forms a relationship with all of them in different ways. So pretty much this book is about a girl that struggles with drug addiction. So she will do anything to get drugs. So trigger warnings for like everything in this book. If you are sensitive to like sexual abuse, you know, sexual violence, things like that, then I would probably stay away from this because there's a lot of it in this book. This book was emotional for me. There was a couple parts in this book that I almost teared up. Just the way the author wrote this book, it seriously felt like this was real people. Like, it felt like these were real characters, this stuff really happened. It's so crazy. I don't know. I wasn't expecting that from this book. So yeah, you kind of just follow this girl's story and what she does to get the drugs that she takes, just to kind of escape her life. She's not having the best life, and she, you know, wants to get away mentally, so she starts taking drugs, and she ends up falling in love with one of the brothers, and yeah, it kind of goes from there. I don't want to spoil anything. But this was really good. Like, even if you don't like romance, but you like emotional, tough reads that also has romance in it, you would like this book. Like I said, I am not really, well, I wasn't really a romance person. like reading romance, but I've been getting into it lately. When you guys see my book haul, you'll see how many romance books I bought, which is not like me at all. This book was 5 stars for sure. I have not read a book in a long time that had made me like almost want to cry, so yeah, that's pretty big for me. This was really good. Her writing is phenomenal. Now I want to read everything else that she has written. Okay, now for the next 2 books, they are on my Kindle app and I will pull it up right now. These books are also romantic suspense. Can you believe it? Now, these books that I'm about to talk about are more like erotic, a lot of sex scenes, a lot of dark. If you're sensitive to sexual abuse, then stay away from these books. The books that I'm going to mention are books 1 and 2 in a series, and I'm currently reading book 3. Hold on, I'm trying to pull them up on my app. Okay. Let's see. Okay, well, the 2 books that I read are Blood Red Rose by Fawn Bailey. Oh my god, can I... You know what, I might end up just putting a picture right here because it's taking forever to load. I just want to look at the cover. Why won't it let me do that? Blood Red Rose, and what is the other one? Pure White Rose, and then the 3rd book is Last Broken Rose by Fawn Bailey. I'll put pictures up. So yeah, I read book 1 and 2. So these books are pretty dark. They're like erotic, BDSM, romantic suspense type of books. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, then you probably won't like these books. But basically it's about this girl who is a dancer. She's a ballerina. So she goes to this school for dancing, and one day she gets kidnapped by some strange man that she's never met before, and he takes her to this huge mansion full of other girls, other men, and she realizes that this place is not, you know, it's not a good place. These women are being abused and they don't have any way out. This place is like right in front of a very beautiful ocean, so she's like looking out the window thinking, oh my gosh, maybe one day I can escape. And she does try to escape, but I won't tell you what happens with that. She does try to escape, I think in, was it book 2? Oh, I can't remember. But that part got my heart racing. I was scared for her. So yeah, it's basically about this ballerina, and she gets, you know, kidnapped by this man, and it's just their story. I read book 1 and 2, so these books do end in cliffhangers, so yeah, be aware of that. I just downloaded them for free on my Kindle. I don't think I would go out and purchase them, but if you are interested in these, then they were free for Kindle, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, there's a decent amount of like vulgarness in those books, so if you don't like that stuff, then beware, don't read those. But yeah, I gave those both 4 stars. I thought they were pretty good. I'm reading the last one in that series right now, and so far I like it, but I don't know what I'm going to rate it yet. So yeah, those were all the books that I read this month. A little bit of a mixture. Well, actually, yeah, so I read like 2 thrillers, 5 romantic suspenses. Wow, that is crazy. And I am going to be reading a lot more of that genre because I really like it, surprisingly. So yeah, if you have read any of these books, let me know in the comments down below. Also let me know what you read this month, what was your favorite book in the month of May, and what are you currently reading. I am actually currently reading, it's called The Dead Ex. Oh my god, now I can't remember who it's by, but I'll leave it in the description down below, or I'll put a picture of what the book is right here. It's in my living room, but I don't feel like getting it, sorry. So yeah, I'm reading that. That one's a thriller. So far it's pretty good. I have no clue what's going on, but I'm only like 50 pages in, and I'm kind of lost. I really don't know what's going on, but it's intriguing me enough to keep on reading. So yeah, that's my current read. I will be filming a book haul very soon. I hope you guys are having a great beginning of the month of June. I hope you had a great reading month last month, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye!